I'm Brandy, and today is Mystery Monday, so we'll be playing some more Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations. Hi, MrSwissCheese. Hi, Rodent. Hi, David. How are things going? Hope things are going pretty good. Thank you for the welcome, Bushy. Oh, and thank you for popping in, even though you don't want, spoilers. I appreciate it. Alright. Oh, and yeah. Work is easy today. You know what that means? Oh! Oh, the saying was in my brain. But something on company time. This is pretty bad. Okay. On that note, let's continue. I can't remember what happened. Take a second. Wait, more money at you? Wait, a bunch of meaningfully, or questions designed to put you on the spot. Perfect! Love it. Let's do it. Alright. Oh. So Maya is on the sand, and we're trying to figure out what the heck happened. And I believe we have confirmed that Dahlia was involved and was in possession of her mother. Hence the altercation that occurred. But you defeated Dahlia, and now we're trying to figure out the killer. Exactly. Wait, easy one. How was the last 15 hours or so? Last 15 hours were kind of a little bit rough because, you know when you know, karma comes in and you're like, hey, you know, my headache's gone away. That has happened the last couple days, and it's a good sign. It's finally broke, and then it comes back with a vengeance to say, what did you say? Yeah. So last night was had a bit of a headache issue. A lot better this morning, but again, I'm not gonna push it, you know, anything can happen. So much for knocking out wood. Exactly, it wasn't wood! We have proven my desk isn't wood! Also, hi, I'm sorry, how you doing? But you know, if Maya went to the bathroom and said, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, wouldn't be surprised if she actually got possessed. You know, I wonder if that works that way. If she could summon a spirit like that. Now I'm kind of curious about the effects of this universe. Okay, so what happened? Okay, passing through the garden, to the prep room. Someone struck her over the head, stumbled and ended up against the stone lantern. Wait, she stumbled and ended up against the stone lantern. She screamed, help me. Could see, she didn't want to tell us, but apparently there was a man there behind the attacker by the light of that she could see by the light of the stone lantern. Then something warm slashed over me, which was likely her mother's blood. And that's when I lost consciousness. Okay. Wait, so how has life been treating you in general, minus the headache? Not too bad. It's been going pretty good. Yeah, still trying to get things in order. Also, hi, Spooky Boy. How's it going? We're near the end. Are we? Holy cow. It's finally happening. We might actually finish the trilogy. Wait, I think yesterday was too much for you, to the point you gave... Yeah, but then again, it would be something else completely different. Yeah, I think the amount of brain power I use, I don't know, the tiny bit of what I've seen in is that Phoenix said that Maya is lying. I believe so. Also, I think your hamster wanted to have its revenge for you torturing him. You say things a lot. Will you explain, or is it a secret? It's just a process of, like, I'll talk about it once I've dealt with it. But not until I dealt with it, kind of thing. Okay. So, what about the person that was behind your attacker? Did we press on this? Because I feel like we haven't. Wait, 2 minute. Wait, 2 main brain cells overheated and got inflamed. Alright, and have a great rest of your day. Alright, let's press this. Woo! A man? Who was this man? Well, you see, I couldn't see. Okay. Alright, how about this then? Would you rather be a housewife or the breadwinner in the marriage? Probably the breadwinner, so I have the bread. Tons and tons of bread. Also, Twitch is lagging behind YouTube again. Wait, really? That's crazy. You couldn't see. She used this excuse twice now. Well, you know, lantern light isn't very bright. Ow. Lantern light? Did you say? There's a great big stone lantern in the garden. Delay is alright. Okay. It's not too bad. They always light it when an acolyte is there for training. Oh. Wait a second. Hey! You know what they say, under the lantern, darkness reigns. So I could see the person that was further away, but not my attacker, who was closer. Okay. Plus there weren't any other light sources in the garden at the time. Okay, I feel like I've heard this already. Okay. So, I have a theory. Yes, I knew it. We... excuse me. We had a note from someone that the stone lantern was not lit the night of the crime. So, lies? Complete and total lies? Don't choke. I make no promises. Okay, so let's try the lantern and see how that works out. Did I say? Again, no promises. So there was a man standing behind your attacker? Yeah. That man, he's the killer. He stabbed her from behind. He's the one who killed Elise Donham, otherwise known as Misty Faye, your mother. The killer? Maya, you know who killed your mother, don't you? What is the meaning of this, Mr. Wright? To be frank, Your Honor, I think she is in shock and quite confused. That's why she hasn't noticed a huge problem with her testimony. Uh-oh. At least he's being nice about this. Oh, sorry, Pixie, how's it going? I wonder how many people this game motivated to become an attorney. Thinking you can bump yourself through every trial. If only it was that easy. Alrighty, how funny am I on a scale of 1 to 10? 10 being funny, not a trick question. 10. I'll go with that. Wait, new emote, Chibi saying no promises in red bold letters. Huh? What do you mean? What problem? Maya? On the night of the crime, the stone lantern was out of commission. Huh? What? Exactly. You heard me. It's true. There was no light anywhere in the garden that night. Are you saying that to me? You feel good? No, you are genuinely funny. Order! Order in the court! Mr. Cadeau, explain this. Why Mr. Cadeau? What? How long have we been here today? How many cups has it been? We got you lying? Wait, what? What are you talking about? Okay, add the pureness, or are you talking about Maya specifically? Add the pureness of milk to the perfect clear darkness of coffee. Stir. That is the state of the witness's mind right now. A cup of cafe latte? Ulat? Cafe au lait? Is that even legal? What? I think 12. Hell yeah, my ego has been fed. Oh, I apologize. My estimation was too low. Whoa. I don't think it was 1, but I'm guessing it's 20. Also, I was talking about my line. Ah, makes sense. Hi, Nemans, how you doing? Cafe au lait? Lot? Sorry, I don't think I'm getting closer. Mr. Tright's words are the milk, and you are the spoon, Your Honor. Since my humor consists of nothing but obscure pop culture references, I'm basically a walking TED Talk on how to kill him. I know. I'm a spoon? I'm no spoony bard, I'll have you know. You must have noticed too, Trey. This witness's mental state is highly unstable right now. It's not hard to understand why she would make a little mistake like that. I mean, we aren't dead yet, so it's alright. That's good. Wait, kill her. Sorry, it took me a minute. Oh, wow. Sorry, but that's not gonna cut it. What did you say? If there truly was no light in the garden, then there's a fatal contradiction in the witness' last bit of testimony. Nick! May I? Recall that the witness's statement about her attacker? She said that she didn't know if it was a man or a woman or an adult or a child. And yet, the witness couldn't describe a person that was standing behind her, or could describe a person that was standing behind her attacker. And she quite clearly described him as a man. Huh? In other words, that would have to mean that Maya actually saw our mystery person, despite it being so dark that she couldn't see the face of her own attacker. No! Just, why are you hiding the attacker? Order. Order, order. I'm pretty sure it's Godot. I think we've established this at this point. What in the world does all me, Mr. Wright? Are you saying Miss Faye saw the real killer under pitch black conditions? Objection! Trite, do you have any idea what you're proposing? How could she have seen in the dark? There was no other light source at the scene. Objection! Except your visor! I accuse you of murder! Wait, go nerd. Is a phony. Wait. Yes, exactly. Wait, Phoenix, stop making your future life scared. There are some things that you can only see in the dark, Mr. Godot. Maya, did you see who the killer was in the dark? And now you're trying to cover for him? Cover? For the man that killed her mother? There's only one conclusion I can draw from this. You know who this man is. Oh. Please, Nick. I don't know anything. Please, I'm begging you. Ha. You talk a good game, Trite. But let's see if you can walk the walk. It was pitch black. So what could the witness see? I'm calling your bluff. No, Nick! Don't! Please! Stop! Oh, your Maya sounds like your Vivi. She's crying, yeah. Maya is dead set on protecting this guy. Maybe Aiko. Like, actually. I was kind of... Yeah, I think when I started... when Aiko joined in, I started pulling out the Maya for some reason. I don't know why. The man who murdered Maya is a long-lost mother, but I can't let him get away with it. I'm a lawyer, an officer of the court. I'm here to find the truth. Does the same voice for women and children. Exactly. They all have the same voice. Alright, Mr. Wright. Time to show us what you... Oh. Just in case. Just real quick. Just, there we go. Imagine the killer was Pearl. At this point, who could... You know what? We've got spirit mediums that can transform into different people. It's possible. Alright, Mr. Wright. Time to show us what you got. Who was this person that you say Miss Faye saw in the darkness? Okay, my logic is this. She says it was a man. So if we presume that that wasn't a lie, that cuts out anyone who isn't male. So we got Miles Edgeworth, Larry, Godot, and Phoenix, although Phoenix isn't here. So I guess scratch Phoenix. Also, Gumshoe. Okay. So the logic was that anyone across the bridge couldn't be the person who's the murderer, like during that specific time frame until the bridge was fixed. Gumshoe was fixing the bridge. We were talking to Larry. He also did the sketch and stuff. So he was across the bridge. And we were playing as Edgeworth. So, via deduction, Godot. Godot is the only... And also, he has a glowing visor, I'm pretty sure. So, conclusion? Godot? Okay, because it was pitch black, Miss Faye was able to recognize the killer easily. I'm sure the court would like to see for itself how this is possible, yes? What? Are you gonna turn out the light? Dum dum dum. But how do you propose to show us something like that? It's easy. We just need to recreate the conditions of that night. Conditions? Your Honor, flick the light switch. The defense officially requests that all the lights in this courtroom be turned off. Wait for it. Okay, this is a little awkward. What? What? This is... But it can't be! Huh. Wait. It is! But it is! It's true! You just had to wear your glowing visor everywhere you went. That was a nice bit of deduction. Trite. You weren't there during the trial. Francisca von Karma took your place. You're the only one who was missing. Go Nerd was projecting on Nick the entire time. Yep. It's happening. I would not have expected this. Well, everyone, this is the man Maya saw on the night of the murder. Damn, it became the villain. Yeah, this is just crazy. Well, I don't know. Based off of this, he's technically the savior if he, like, stabbed the mother in the back because he saved Maya. So this is complicated. Wait, order. Prosecutor Godot, what is the meaning of this? 2? 3? surely you must be shocked to hear yourself accused of such a thing. Why aren't you denying it? Ha. Your Honor, you're asking the wrong person. What do you mean by that? If you got a question, ask the witness. That's one of my rules. Well, Maya, how about it? What you saw that night? Was it 3 glowing red lights? Come on. Well, witness, answer the question. No. But he isn't a hero or a villain, but a guy who done the right thing, possibly. You're wrong. I never saw that. Maya! I thought the person that stabbed my mother was a man. For a totally different reason. Okay. What? Molly, did you see me last night? Did you see a cheese glow in the dark? Peeking out of the walls? Witness, Mr. Wright, what the— Objection! Oh my god. Stop your chatter, Your Honor. What? Chattering? 3? If it's worth asking, ask the witness. That's one of my rules. You just— okay. Alright. Well then, let's continue with the testimony. Please tell us how you knew the killer was a man. Yes, Your Honor. I didn't realize it until after I woke up, but... Okay. Did the killer put you inside the room? Or the place where you're supposed to be training? Woo! Hi, Theta Civilian, how you doing? When I came to, I was just lying there on the training room, or training hall floor. By the time I got back to the garden, the place was totally changed. Doing good? That's good to hear. Yeah, not doing too bad. The torches were lit and the body was gone. And all of the snow around the stone lantern had been carefully cleaned up too. Since the person did all that work alone, I just assumed it was a man. Okay. Pretty presumptuous. So it was after the crime took place that the witness came to talk to to think the killer was a man. Yes, that's right. Precisely. I'm sorry, Your Honor. No need to apologize. It was Mr. Godot. It's as Mr. Godot said, you're utterly exhausted. It's only natural that you would be a little confused. Also, if you consider the situation you described, it doesn't seem too much of a stretch to assume the culprit was a man. Wait, but that... okay. Mr. Wright, proceed with your cross-examination. But we proved it already. I'm gonna have to fight tooth and nail for this. Okay. So you're on the training hall floor. So you lost consciousness when you were in the garden, is that right? Yes. I think it happened when the victim was stabbed. So then the person that carried you into the inner temple, it could only have been the killer. You're awfully quiet. Save. Oh, good point. Should probably do that. That's what I think too. So the killer carried Maya into the inner temple. Okay. So the garden had been changed. Also, how did you see that it was changed? Was it closer to daytime or something? Naturally, the killer must have done it, right? Yes.
Yes, I think so.
Thank you for pet. It's slowly coming in. But why would the killer tamper with the crime scene like that? There must have been something that the killer desperately wanted to hide.
I don't know.
It looks like she doesn't have enough confidence. I think I need to gather some more information before I ask her again. Okay. So potentially we might have to redo that one statement. The torches were lit, the body was gone. Oh, so light was added. Oh, hi Grammar, how you doing? And wait, I didn't do it, I swear. You don't know how I am? Oh, no. The torches were lit.
Yes, that's how I noticed the whole scene had changed.
I'm gonna say it was the killer who lit the torches. I mean, who else could it be? Mom E is swearing at stream. The killer probably lit them since it was impossible to do any cover-up work in the dark. However, if that's true, there's one thing that still bothers me. Why did the killer go to the effort of moving the body? That's true. It's hard to see how that would be of any advantage to the killer. The only one who could have gained anything from that would be the only person that was at the inner temple, Maya. Very well. Let me hear some more about the condition of the crime scene. Okay. So the snow had been removed around the lantern. The torch were lit. Now all the China knows you're here. Yep. So you're saying the killer cleaned up the snow. It did look really odd. The snow was removed in an unnatural looking rectangular shape around the lantern.
There was a lot of shovels around the inner temple. But they're all really heavy. Way too heavy for me to use.
Interesting. An odd fellow indeed, this killer. Why on earth would anyone want to take snow away? Well, there's one thing I could think of. Didn't you say that a lot of the victim's blood sprayed onto the snow?
Yeah. The area I collapsed in ended up being splattered.
In other words, the killer's purpose was to hide the bloody snow. I think that's the most reasonable explanation. Perhaps? However, there's something that's bothering me. If the killer just wanted to hide the snow with blood on it, there was no need to remove that amount. Unless they had a red visor that kept them from seeing red things. Like blood. Like, I don't know, like a written Maya name that's upside down that they couldn't see earlier when we presented it as evidence. I don't know, but you never know. Wait, eat cake or loot chest? I'd say I'm a fan of both. That's true. He could have scooped up just snow that was stained with blood. Also, he missed another piece of evidence that was red. It's all coming together. Wait, it looks like there are some mysteries behind this issue.
But I think this will explain them.
Okay. Oh yeah, same, but I like cake more. Make a choice. That's hard to pick. It's really hard to pick just one, you know? Think of all the art. Well, some nice cake does look good, you know? You really are gonna try to make it Godot be the one who's the killer. I think it's already... There's literally no one else. There's... Since a person, did all of that work alone. Okay. Conclusion? So you're saying that you never saw the killer, right?
Yes.
But earlier, you very clearly stated that you saw a man behind your attacker.
Nick, I'm sorry.
The killer certainly went through a lot of trouble. Moving the body by pendulum, manipulating the crime scene. But for what purpose? Why do all that? Maybe Maya knows more than she's letting on. Okay, so we've gone through everything. And then it was the second statement. By the time I got back to the garden, the place had totally changed. So let's bring that up again. Naturally, the killer must have done it, right?
Yes, I think so.
But why would the killer tamper with the crime scene like that? There must have been something the killer desperately wanted to hide. Okay, so...
Hi.
Oh, she has confidence now.
The truth is, when I saw the crime scene, I felt something.
Go on. You did?
Yes. I felt like the killer was hiding the evidence for me, for my sake.
What? Hiding it for you?
Everyone knew that I was the only one at the inner temple that night. If Sister Bikini had come back and looked at the garden...
Can we not channel Mom and ask? Actually. No, wait. If you're possessed, how conscious are you of what the heck is going on? Because Delilah was there. And she gave us her interpretation of the events. Unless it goes further than that. I feel like we should still channel everybody. She may have thought that you had done it. No, she definitely would have thought so. And you're saying that's why the killer cleaned up the crime scene to make it look like nothing had happened?
Yes, I'm sure of it.
Get the round table of mediums. Well, that's certainly an important piece of information. I want you to add that to your testimony.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so I think it was for my sake that the killer cleaned up the evidence of what had happened. Okay, go on. Yes. Let's bring out the ritual circle and summon the spirit. Yep. They did it for your sake?
Well, if the body and the blood hadn't been removed, I would have immediately been the prime suspect, right?
Yes, I suppose that's true. Yeah, and if that happened, the body would have caused some other problems too. If her real identity had come out right then, it would have been terrible. Master of Kurain killed by own daughter. I don't think Maya would have been able to handle it. But still, it's rather difficult to fathom the killer's motives. What reason is there to go through that much trouble to protect you? Okay. So, is there a contradiction somewhere? Okay, let's think about this. Okay. So, woke up on the training room floor. The garden had been changed because the killer cleaned up the evidence for your sake. The torches were lit, the body was gone. All of the snow around the stone lantern had been carefully cleaned up. And since the person did all that work alone, I just assumed it was a man. But also, consider time frame and stuff like that, and all the, Okay. If you could change something about your streaming habits, style, what would it be? Streaming habits and style. That's hard to think of. Perhaps better comprehend good periods of time when to stream. But the issue is that loses consistency. And I like consistency. That's kind of hard. Unless there was a consistent way of moving the schedule around, for example, that was more like better suited the majority of viewers kind of thing. Also say okay, wanna try to put Godot again, maybe? I too like the consistency, yeah. So that's the only thing. Well, originally I did want to have a 3-hour block and a 3-hour block for my schedule. For like the evening streams and stuff like that, but I changed that because some days I had to get up early and there was no consistency in that. So I guess like overall enhance the schedule while still making it possible to do stuff, I think would be nice. Also getting better at streaming. You know, that's also a possibility too. But yeah, that's something I have to think about. Wait, is there anything you would change to make your favorite chatter? Wait, what? And the what? And say you can start and try again. Okay. Good point. Okay, so what? So am I trying to prove a contradiction? Okay, well actually let's think about something. Is there anything that says that she didn't wake up on the training hall floor? Probably not. Ah, I think could change to make me your favorite chatter. Ah, I see. Okay. So she went back to the garden. I don't think there's any proof against that. The place had changed, which is logical because the crime scene had changed. The killer cleaned up the evidence of what had happened for my sake. I'm not doubting it. It seems the most likely thing. But that could be proven wrong. Oh, so hi, Adept. How's it going? I don't want to spoil too much, but Maya does have something wrong about the crime scene. Oh! Okay, the torches were lit. The body was gone. And all of the snow around the stone lantern had been carefully cleaned up too. Okay. So let's think about this. We'd have evidence of it. The map. Scroll. I mean, she didn't notice the scroll thing? Which might be a little weird. Wait a minute. Wait. Get overwhelming. What? Okay, that has nothing. Iris's hood. Weather. It depends when she woke up. Also, the flaming bridge. Because the bridge definitely did have to be on fire. That had to have happened, otherwise the body pendulum thing didn't happen. Didn't they say the lantern was out of commission? They did say that the main lantern was out of commission, but they didn't talk about the torches. So they picked up the victim's staff, put it in the body. The autopsy. Tracks. Crime scene in the courtyard. The sketch. Crystal sphere. Still on the staff. They missed the talisman. So that was either done on purpose or not. Oh, sorry, how are you doing? So we're still trying to figure this out. Nice, yeah. Okay, the lantern was out of commission. Okay, the papers, the dagger. So they missed the dagger and they missed the talisman. The bridge photo, I don't know if that helps. Because they say that the stone lantern specifically, so it's probably not the torches unless we have something to prove that. Okay, profile. I don't really think there's anything. Okay. So let's think about this. Oops. Okay. So totally changed is not wrong. Now, if the killer cleaned up the evidence of what happened, why did they miss the talisman and the dagger? Unless they just missed it, but it was 2 pieces of evidence. The torches were lit, the body was gone. Torches were lit. Were the torches lit? The snow had been carefully cleaned up too. I just don't know where to use evidence. Okay, maybe just press on this again. The torches were lit. Yes, that's how I noticed the whole scene had changed. It's a killer. I mean, who else could it be? It's possible to cover up work. However, if that's true, there's one thing that still bothers me. Why did the killer go to so much effort to move the body? It's true. Okay, Maya's the only one who gains from it. Okay, so maybe not that point. Killer cleaned it up. The evidence of what happened. They did it for your sake. Oh! I'm forgetting the most obvious thing. Okay. I think he was a real killer. No! Okay. So if they did it for her sake. Okay, I'm assuming it's Godot. That's the issue. There was 3 pieces of evidence that were left behind. Her name was written on the lantern. So if it was for her, why did they leave the name written behind? Unless they couldn't see it. Which is, the only person who couldn't see it is Godot because he has his visor. So what if I present the lantern again? And maybe Oh. Oh. The body of Delise Donim was carried all the way to Hazakura Temple's courtyard. And you're onto something, maybe. Then, at the garden, the real scene of the crime, the snow that we suspect was covered in blood was scooped up and removed. That's reasonable to believe that all this was done in an attempt to hide the true crime scene. However, there's still one matter that seems somewhat odd. Oh? And what would that be? The thing you freaked out really heavily over. Wait. It was me. I need a sacrifice. You must have figured out by now, Mr. Godot. It's a message written in blood on the lantern. Haha. Thing you couldn't see? Because you're the killer? Because it's very obvious at this point? It was written very clearly on the white stone lantern. Maya. Huh? Exactly. If the killer was so motivated to protect Maya from suspicion, then why didn't they wipe the writing off the lantern? Oh! You're right! Exactly! Order! But Mr. Wright, isn't it a fact that the killer was trying to cover up the... Wait, isn't it a fact that the killer was trying to cover up the crime scene? Indeed. But it doesn't make sense to move the body and remove the bloody snow. Then not wipe off the most incriminating thing of all, the bloody writing.
Objection.
4? But if that's the case, do you have an explanation for the killer's mysterious behavior? Yeah, I do. Why would this killer move the body and remove all the snow, but then leave the bloody writing on the lantern? I don't know what the killer's plan was, but it's a fact that the killer left the writing on the lantern. There must be a reason for it. We have the reason! Well then, Mr. Wright, let's hear your opinion. Hold on. 1 second. Let me breathe. Okay. Why did the killer leave the message written in blood on the lantern? The killer wrote it to pin the crime on Maya. The killer didn't notice it. I think it's pretty obvious at this point. Prosecutor Godot, earlier in this trial, you gave me some good evidence. Once you eliminated the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. Maybe you're not as dumb as I thought. The real killer wanted to disguise the fact that the crime had occurred there. If that's the case, they wouldn't have left the bloody writing on the stone lantern on purpose. Therefore, it must mean that they didn't notice it.
What? That doesn't make any sense. The torches were all lit and everything. There's no way any normal person would miss something as glaring as that.
Unless, you're right. There is no way any normal person would. What? What are you trying to say, Mr. Wright? Only a Canadian wouldn't be able to see it, Judge! I know the truth. You're colorblind. Plus, you're a Canadian. That means you're a true killer. There's only one person involved in this incident who could have missed something, could have missed seeing the bloody writing altogether. And who would that be? Who is the person that could have failed to notice the bloody writing? Only someone who already did. Wait, speaking like a true Canadian? No? Mr. Godot, this is what you said yesterday. My eyesight is pretty messed up. Even with these huge goggles on my head, I still can't see anything. Or everything. You can't see everything? Is that correct, Mr. Godot? Wait, it's the good old saying, if crazy, why hot? So you're saying that you're not Canadian. I am Canadian. But I'm not admitting to any crimes that Canadians have done. This lantern was submitted as evidence today. I would like the court to think back to the moment it was first presented. This lantern, there's something written on it. Why, it's written in blood. Nonsense. This lantern, it's as clean as a whistle. Is it now? Cough or one. Mr. Godot, just admit it. There are certain colors you can't see, correct? You can't see red on a white background, can you? That's right. We went through this once before. During the poisoning case at Tribulations. This is the apron that the delightful Miss Bird was wearing at the time, and somehow spilled coffee on it. But you didn't notice the blood. Wow, this was long and planted. Says all the people and animals in game you killed so many times. There's something still bothering me, Mr. Godot. Why have you not explained the blood stain to the court? Blood stain? What blood stain would that be? Don't play games, prosecutor! The blood-colored stain that's smeared all over the apron. That's ridiculous. No one told me anything about a blood stain. Exactly. You could see the coffee on the white apron, but you couldn't see the ketchup because it was red. 6? 5? I don't know. Huh. That's strange. In a black and white photo, those letters would have appeared black to me. I wonder, why am I the only one that can't see them? I don't know, you're using a red visor? Like, so then, Mr. Godot, are you admitting it? Are you admitting that you can't see the red writing on the lantern? Just take your time, it's fine. Hey, Gramps. Didn't you know? There's a reason why I don't drink red tea. Because you can't see it in the cup? Why not take off the goggles and see with your own eyes? You know, I don't think he can. I have a feeling he's got a medical issue, but I guess we'll find out. I wasn't sure about it until now, but I just can't believe it. Prosecutor Godot is the murderer. But there's no going back now. I finally figured out the truth. Not... Wait, can't be caught red-handed if you can't see red. Wait, doesn't that work the opposite way? Because then you can't wash the red off of your hands? Mr. Godot, the defense at this time formally accuses you. You are the murderer of Miss Elise Donham, also known as Miss Misty Faye. It's hard to believe this may be true, however, once again, Mr. Wright has brought up a disquieting fact about you. Huh. Make sure you don't fill out the indictment in red ink, Gramps. Come on. How does a little graffiti make me into the killer? Oh my god. Speaking of which, have you ever taken a color blind test? I have not. I do not know. I think I can see color. But then again, I often wonder, because the world looks like it does for me, and I just made assumptions based off of that. Wait, what just happened? The Godot is the killer. Apparently. Because he can't see red. I guess that's our basic conclusion. Oh. And, he wants to protect Maya and Mia. For some reason. Alright. So that's my alarm, so I'll take a real quick break. Do you know the color peach? I do, I think. Oh, ribbons. Alright, I'll be back in a little bit. Alrighty, back and ready to continue. So let's do this. Well, you literally want me to do a colorblind test? Probably should at some point. Test it out. Alright. Situated, back in chair. Okay. Yes. Okay. Besides, it's not like my name. It's not like it's my name that's written there. Oh, are you trying to imply Maya's guilty? After everything, just because you can't see it? Wait. If people are okay with it, you should do it right now. You should definitely... Right now? Wait, are you serious? I mean, is it a quick test? Like, how long is this test? I mean, I'll do it. As long as there's no, yeah, it's pretty quick. Okay. Alrighty then. Allow me 1 second. I'm gonna make some adjustments here. Okay. If I can. Because I assume you guys want to see it. Just got this feeling. Okay. Please just let me... Thank you. Hell yeah. I did it in a few minutes. Okay. So let's do this. Okay. All right. Now I just need to... Okay, that should do it. Yes. Okay, definitely yes. We would want to see it. Okay. Voila. Colorblind test. Let's do this. Okay, before starting the colorblind test, the test shows you various Ishihara planes, each displaying numbers that you need to identify correctly to pass the test. Remove any glasses with colored lenses. Aw. My red glasses have to be removed. This test requires you to use your naked eye for accurate results. Increase your screen brightness to the highest level. Dim lighting can affect your ability to see colors accurately. For better results, take the test on a large screen, like a tablet or laptop. Okay. Ooh. What's with all the gray dots? Is there supposed to be a number here? 6. Oh, shoot. Wait, did it go to the next one? 5, 2, 1, 3, 7, 7, 8, 7, 4, 1. Oh, that one messed with my mind. 6, 2. Wait, is there actually... Wait, 9, 4... 1? This feels like it's screwing with my head. Wait, 9, 8, 1. I don't know if it's there. 6, 4, 3, 6, 8. Generate report. Okay. Normal color vision. Yeah! You have normal color vision, which means you can see up to 1 million distinct shades of color. Yay! Okay, I did get something wrong, though. What did I get? Oh, at the beginning. I double-clicked. I'm normal! Yay! Woohoo! Yep, so it has been proven. I am not colorblind. Okay. So now that's done. Let's get back to it. And yay! Clap, clap. Alright. So, besides, it's not like my name. It's my name that's written there, okay? Objection! Objection! You just told me ahead of time that you wanted nothing bad to happen to me and Maya, so don't even. I'm certain that the killer wasn't able to see the color red. Okay. This is rich. Do go on, Tribes. Dang it. I mean, yay. I'm glad you're not nervous. Laugh. Okay. The answer is right there at the crime scene. In the snow. The snow? How so? Well, for example, why did the killer move all of that snow? Your Honor, you said it yourself. If he wanted to hide the bloody snow, why not take out just that area? Yes, why didn't he take just that area? Could it be? Yes, the killer couldn't see the red blood that had seeped into the snow. And so, he had to remove all of the snow. He couldn't be sure of where the blood had landed, so he removed the whole area.
Objection.
Isn't it more likely that the killer couldn't see the blood because it was dark? He lit the lanterns! I mean, the torches. Not a chance. The torches were all lit. He could have, he would have been able to see just fine. Oh, he angry? Yup. He's angry, alright. It seems that once again, this trial has taken an unexpected turn, to say the least. Bailiff! Attack this man! Can you explain this, Mr. Godot? Hold it. Oh!
Wait! Just wait a minute!
We got him cornered. Maybe not. Maya? What is it, witness?
Mr. Godot isn't the killer. After all, he didn't even come to the inner temple until 2 days after the murder took place. He didn't show up until after the old bridge got fixed up.
Objection.
Maya. Wait. Are you helping out? You can't testify to something like that.
Why? What do you mean? I may not look like it.
After the murder happened, you didn't even exist. She didn't? I'm afraid I don't follow. Are you senile, old man? We established this just a little while ago. After the murder, this witness was unconscious for a long time. Yep. Because she was channeling Dahlia Hawthorne. Oh, that's right.
Please, Your Honor, let me add to my testimony. Nick, please listen to me.
Overruled. Maya, do you plan to cover for Godot no matter what the cost? If that's the case, then I've got no choice. Your Honor, let's hear her testimony. If it means we're going to hear the whole truth, I say we should not silence her. Ha. Nicely done, Trey. Very well. Let's hear the witness's testimony. Please tell us what happened at the inner temple after the murder.
Yes, sir. After I woke up, I began channeling, and my spirit left me, as it were. But little Pearly was there at the inner temple, too.
Okay.
Pearly was also stuck on the inner temple side that night. The next morning, she looked around but couldn't find anyone. The next day, when the bridge was finally fixed, she was in the spare prep room. How do you know this?
Yeah, I would gladly take a fall for you if you commit a crime. I hope not to commit a crime. Wait, I just thought of something funny. Hear me out. Dahlia has red hair, and since Godot can't see red, does that mean that Godot will not see Dahlia? We'll see Dahlia bald. I don't think it works that way.
That's when Mr. Godot arrived at the inner temple for the first time. He found Pearly first and cheered her right up.
Can we get pearls in here to prove that? G-Nerd can't see. That's right. I'm invisible. Wait, who is this Pearly?
That's my little cousin, Pearl Faye.
So when did you hear about this?
Oh, just a while ago when I was in the medical office.
I'm terribly sorry, but what you heard from someone else is simply not admissible as testimony.
What? Come on. Pearly would never tell a lie. She only told like 20. This past case.
Wait, his law said he can't see something I think he...
She's a way more honest person than I'll ever be.
Okay, that is true. Real smart, Maya. You always know the best things to say when you're under oath. Maya sure is trying to keep the killer hidden, and also Pearl was up during the time and waiting to see Maya. Yeah, that's the other thing. Can we bring Pearl in here? Huh. The prosecution has no objection. We believe the witness. Mr. Godot! Let's just move on to the cross-examination if the defense has no objections. This is highly unusual, but... Well, Mr. Wright... Let's get this cross-examination started. Alright. Let's do this. Okay. So, Pearls was also there. So, where do you think Pearls slept that night?
In the spare prep room next to the training hall, I guess. There's a rule that you can't enter the training hall during an acolyte's training.
But even so, why did she go to the inner temple in the first place? It seems that Pearls became very worried about Maya.
She knew that the spiritual training I was about to undergo was very intense. It would probably kill me.
Pearls was supposed to channel Dahlia Hawthorne, but she couldn't do it. That's why she headed to the inner temple. However, Dahlia Hawthorne was already there, possessing the body of Lee Stoneham.
The next morning, she looked around but couldn't find anyone. The next day, when the bridge was finally fixed... Oh, wait, hang on.
She looked around but couldn't find anyone. She searched the entire inner temple side, end to end.
Well, you see, Pearly gets pretty scared when she's alone. And there weren't that many places to look. She says that she even went back and forth several times.
The inner temple side has two structures, the training hall and the spare prep room.
And there's also the storage shack, I think that's about it.
There was a storage shack too? Pearls was looking for other people, right? Would she have really examined the storage shack all that carefully?
Well, if it was me, that would be the first place I would investigate.
So that means it's possible that someone may have been hiding in the storage... Pardon me. Hiding in the storage shack. Okay, next day when the bridge was finally fixed, she was in the spare prep room. Okay. Quick question, E. Did you turn off the comments over here, on here? I did not. Or the commands. Oh, the commands! I did not change anything. Which... Okay. Being weird again. No, it's more complicated. There's no head pat I think. Hang on. Let me try something real quick. Disappear for a sec. Let's see. Okay, I don't know if it needs to be reset. Okay. Let's go back to the main. Ignore the weird noises. Okay. Okay, this can be closed. Oh! Okay. Hang on. That did something. Okay. Okay. No, I'll be back. Hang on. Let me, Okay. So... that may or may not have done something. The only thing we could do is try again. I shall reappear. Voila! Okay, hit me. Hit me with your best shot. Wait, alright, anyone come to Twitch and support you? Wait, what? Oh, everyone come over to Twitch. Yep. Ow. Okay. It works on Twitch. Alright, incoming eggs, hopefully. I will dodge this. Ow! Oh, ow! Okay. We've done it. I fixed it somehow. I'm sorry about that. That I did not realize. Okay. So we're back in business. Thank you. Uh-oh. Wait! Wait! Ah! Still a huge delay though. Ah! Oh my god! Thank you for the bits. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. At least that's working. Alright, so the next day when the bridge was fixed, let's proceed with this. Pearls didn't hear the sound of them working on the bridge. What do you mean? I was just wondering why she would stay in the prep room. If it was me, I'd at least go out and wait at the foot of the bridge.
Oh, well, Pearlie said she was sleeping at the time. She said that she was so scared during the night that she couldn't sleep and woke up a bunch of times.
Better spend this Twitch money on good things. Alright. Sounds good. Okay. Poor little girl. All alone like that. Well, we know that she had at least one friend in the sacred cavern. Dahlia Hawthorne, who was busy battling with the trick lock. No gotcha games. Okay, I will not spend it on gotcha, I promise. Wait, she couldn't let anyone see her, so she wouldn't have shown herself to Pearls. What happened after the bridge was finally fixed? Okay. That's when Mr. Godot arrived for the first time. Go on. So it was your first time on the inner temple side, Mr. Godot? That's funny. Am I imagining things, or did the defense ask me a question? Psst, spend it on gotcha games. You know you like gambling. Well, since everyone's been insisting on the gotcha game, the horse racing one, we gotta blow all the money on the horse racing one, right? We gotta make sure my horse waifu makes it and wins the races, right? Is that how that works? Miss Wright, please save your questions for the witness. Add me if you play. Okay. Yep. What you heard from someone else is simply not admissible as testimony. Those are your words, Your Honor. Yep, you're... Touché, Mr. Wright. Oh well, what do you have to say, Mr. Godot? 7? 8? I have no idea where we're at. Hot nights and even hotter coffee. That's what I always say. If it hadn't been for this case, I never would have visited there. A freezing cold temple in the mountains, I think I'll pass. So we had never visited Hazakura Temple or the Inner Temple, huh? Ha. You want to say something, Trite? In any case, I have to find a crack in Godot's armor. Well, I cross-examine Maya, that is. Okay. Very well, please go on with your testimony. After fixing the bridge, the policeman came over to the Inner Temple side, right?
Ah, yes, then Mr. Godot.
Okay, found Pearly first and cheered her right up. Okay. He cheered her up?
That's what Pearly said. She said he was a very nice older gentleman. Thank you for looking after my cousin, Mr. Godot.
And here I was thinking you were nothing more than a coffee addict. Ha. Cut it out. You're making me blush. This guy is really beginning to get on my nerves in more ways than one. The truth is, there aren't that many places to look on the Inner Temple side. The policemen were all busy going over the garden with fine-tooth combs. So I decided to carry out an investigation in my own way, Godot style. I'm the same way. I like to hand down verdicts in my own way, judge style. Maybe I should ask more questions, Phoenix style? The poor intern making coffee and not learning anything about the law. Oh man, the amount of coffee they have to make, that's gotta suck. Okay, cheering Pearls up, forget it. Godot's investigation. I think this is probably the most pressing. Do you want to answer your question, or explain more about it? You said that you conducted your own You said you conducted an investigation of your own. Did you find anything? It looks like my investigation went about as well as yours, Trite. After all, I did miss the bloody writing on the lantern. Well, I didn't miss it, so speak for yourself, Goggles. The only odd thing I discovered was the beauty in the training hall. Beauty? Misty Fae, naturally. Clad in... what? What? Wait. What? I'm sorry. She's dead. You only came after she was dead. Right? This is breaking my brain. Okay, clad in her stunning Japanese garb, surrounded by the hue and aroma of Western tastes. Western tastes? Could you find a stranger way to describe gravy? Oh, okay. So from there you headed for the prep room. Oh wow, that just... He's talking about... Yeah, he's talking about the scroll that was splattered with gravy. So from there you headed for the prep room? Wait a sec. What did Godot say just now? I think I just found his proverbial weak spot. There's only one thing of any importance here. Where was Godot when the murder was taking place? He must have already been at the Inner Temple when it happened. Otherwise, he couldn't have killed Elise Stoneham. Okay. So let's try asking the other question. Whoops, went too fast. I was thinking that he just saw her alive, which would not make sense. Okay, let's press. Okay. Praising Godot. He said he did his own investigation. Yeah, which is why I was confused if he was looking at Misty Faye. Okay. So let's ask a question, cheering Pearls up. So you cheered Pearls up? When I found that little girl, the first thing she asked about was her cousin, Maya Faye.
Really?
The bridge had burned down and she was huddled up in that tiny shack with no heat. Wait. She was in the shack? I thought she said she was in the prep room. Even though she must have had a truly terrifying night out there. She asked about you before she said a thing about herself.
Pearly!
I noticed that you weren't anywhere on the inner temple side. But I couldn't find it in me to tell her that. So I gave her my last cup.
Of coffee? You gave a child coffee?
With milk and sugar to hide the bitterness of the harsh truth. What a sweet story. You had a thermos of coffee? Why doesn't that surprise me? There's only one thing of importance here. Where was Godot when the murder was taking place? Okay. That makes sense. Well, there goes her hyper... Nope, there goes her hyper energetic, yep. Well, explains a lot. Okay, so... How did he know that it was Misty Faye? Okay, I have a theory. Possible idea here. So let's save. So when we discussed about... He said that he saw Misty Faye. But how did he know it was Misty Faye if he's never seen her before? Wait, I'm being crazy, but now Pearls is more crazier. Wait, what? Okay, let's try this. Is your neck okay? Yes. Sorry, I was taking a drink. Also, hi Adley, how's it going? Okay, Your Honor, what do you think about the witness statement? Okay, that I failed. Okay, that's not it. Okay, so when we asked that she looked around and couldn't find anyone, the shack was brought up, but Godot said she was sleeping in the shack, which was a little weird. Accidentally sent what I was typing and didn't get to finish. Ah, that makes sense. Okay. So the bridge was finally fixed. And Maya says she was in the spare prep room. Okay. That's when Godot arrived for the first time. Found Pearly. Cheer her up first. Okay. So do I have anything for that? Okay, so So one of the things is the talisman was found in the garden. This was found in the furnace or incinerator. Also, hi, Lunar. I hope I said that right. And welcome. Okay. This was stuck in the tree. This was still up. The bridge was taken out. So how does this... Like... Do I bring up... Okay, Pearls didn't hear any sound. If it was me, I'd at least go wait at the bridge. Pearlie said she was sleeping at the time. She said she was so scared during the night that she couldn't sleep well and woke up a bunch of times. Poor little girl. Well, we know that she had at least one friend in the Sacred Cavern by the Hawthorn who was busy battling with the trick lock. She couldn't let anyone see her. So she wouldn't have shown herself to Pearls. What happened after the bridge was finally fixed. Okay, so there's an issue there? So the issue... Cheered her up. So we're praising him. He said he did his own investigation. Okay. We ask about his investigation. Okay, so he missed the bloody writing. The training hall. So he went to the training hall. Second, what did Godot say just now? I think I found his proverbial weak spot. There's only one thing of importance here. Where was Godot when the murder was taking place? He must have already been at the inner temple when it happened. Otherwise, he couldn't have killed Lee Stoneham. So how do we prove that? Wait, can you look at the gravy scroll? Excellent idea. So if I look at the gravy scroll, there's the before and after. Because the gravy scroll, if it was covered in gravy, he wouldn't have been able to see her, right? So I felt like that was the key. But like, I think I already tried triggering it here. Where do I present it? Because I feel like that's it. But also, he confused the spare prep room with the Okay. Whoops. Okay, I'm gonna have to... Okay. Just carefully... Because I'm pretty sure I presented this. I already saved, trust me. So this didn't work. Am I... Like, is there another point? Wait, maybe it's this. I did save earlier, yeah. my god, it was the wrong one. Okay. Mr. Godot, the first time you crossed Dusky Bridge and went into the Inner Temple was long before the murder took place.
Why do you say that?
Because he must just made one fatal slip up. The hanging scroll in the training hall. Hanging scroll?
But Mr. Godot is right. That scroll shows a picture of my mother.
Maya, I know you know who it is, but that's something you didn't know. But here's something you didn't know. By the time the bridge had been repaired, 2 days after the murder, the hanging scroll in the training hall looked like this. What's that wonderfully delicious smell? The morning after the crime, someone covered it with gravy.
Gravy? But why gravy, Nick?
Because gravy was much more than a condiment to the culprit. Well, Mr. Godot, if you really hadn't seen the hanging scroll until after the murder, you wouldn't have had any way of knowing it was Misty Faye.
Hold it. Wait a minute, Nick.
Stop, please. Yes?
Take another look at the hanging scroll. Look. At the top, there's a crest there.
That. It's the mark of the master, correct?
Exactly. So if you know the meaning of the mark,
then you could guess that it was a picture of Misty Faye on there. True, but Mr. Godot described what was underneath like this. Clad in her stunning Japanese garb, surrounded by the hue and aroma of Western tastes.
Oh.
Yes, it's possible that he knew what the crest meant. However, he couldn't have known that she was wearing Japanese clothing. Mr. Godot, on the day of the murder, you were hiding at the Inner Temple long before the crime took place. Eight or 9? Maybe 10? Can I ask you one little thing, Trey? What is it? This whole theory of yours. It all rests on a certain assumption. There's so many things she could have worn instead. Western tastes, fucking gravy. Yep. What I knew beforehand, that a crime was going to be committed. Or that I knew beforehand that a crime was going to be committed.
That's right! Otherwise, there's no reason for him to sneak onto the crime scene.
Of course, Mr. Godot knew about the plan.
Huh?
What did you say? Hold it. Wait. Explain, Phoenix. Is it whoa, whoa, whoa. Wait. No. I didn't save. Okay. Is it really possible that another person knew of that plan? I don't know. No, I didn't save. I saved earlier. And also, thank you. I'm glad it sounds funny. Okay, so I'm pretty sure using the hanging scroll is probably not going to help. Let's say, Hug McPanda, how you doing? Things are going good? Hope you saved, because this was confusing for me. Oh god, I didn't. Taken by her, only people, received before lights out. The weather report, weapons, autopsy, taken that night from the main gate at Ski Bridge. Okay, crime, sketch, spear. Okay. Also, I see the wizard. How you doing? Want to reinstall? Wait, what? Want to restart? Oh, I see. Orders from Morgan Fay. There's Iris and Pearl and the note. So, that's the thing. They just didn't know. The crime hadn't taken place, so... Okay, so let's think about this. No crime had been committed yet, technically. So they'd have to know ahead of time. Not sure about Bikini, yeah. So no court thing would have happened. So unless... I think the burnt letter is probably the most probable thing, but just in case. So Godot knew about Maya and wanted to protect Maya. Knew about Mia. I'm not entirely sure how much he knows about Pearl and her mother. I don't think it's relevant for the detective. I don't know if he has any relations to anyone else. Mother herself. The only thing I could think of is Morgan Fay's in solitary confinement. So the burnt lever proves that at least 3 people know about it. Okay, let's go back to the... So Morgan knew about it. Pearls knew about it. And Dahlia knew about it? She knew about the plan. Is there anything, like, I'm missing? And Iris, I guess, knew about it. The only thing I could think about is the burnt letter. But I could be wrong. I'll just present it. I mean, I'm gonna probably reload after this. This crime was actually planned over a year ago. Oh? Is your brain okay? No. Morgan Fay authorized the plan for her daughter's future. And these instructions were hidden somewhere in Fay Manor for a year. Okay, however, by the time Little Pearls found these instructions, they had already been unsealed. Unsealed? Yes. The killer had read these instructions long before Pearls ever found them. Oh! That's how he knew that the crime was to take place at the Inner Temple. And you still insist this crafty killer is me? You bet I do. But you just said that the instructions were hidden.
That's right! Mr. Godot couldn't have known where the instructions were hidden.
If he really wanted to know, he had one great chance to find out. Yes, and when was that? During a visit.
During a visit?
Morgan Fay told her daughter Pearl about where the instructions were hidden. During one of her visits to the detention center. That would be the only, only time for someone to have learned where they were hidden. My internet died? No! Eavesdropping on a visit at the detention center? Do you really think a prosecutor is beyond that? Yes, it could be arranged if you were someone with easy access in and out of there. Like someone who's in the police force. For example, a prosecutor such as Mr. Godot. Order! 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 Mr. Godot, you're under fire again! This murder could not have been carried out without prior knowledge. And you... were the only one that could have acquired this information before the murder. Ooh. Humans are afraid of the dark. And yet, at the same time, we're fascinated and bewitched by it. Maybe that's why humans drink the darkness that is coffee. Sorry for always asking, but what does that mean? Looks like the coffee isn't the only thing getting burned. So things, it means there's a reason for everything. According to your theory, the killer, in this case, eavesdropped on a conversation during a jail visit where he learned of the hidden plan for a crime. After discovering the plans, he hid in the inner temple and waited for the crime to occur. Also, hi, I'm saying this right? Perry? Welcome. And yes, first playthrough. When he ultimately took a person's life. Oh, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. And he did all of that just to protect this witness. That's right. If you accuse me of this crime, I have to ask you, why would I do this? This girl is nothing but a stranger to me. I've got no reason to go through that kind of trouble to protect her. Lies! Wait, VODs on YouTube? Yes. I'm streaming to both YouTube and Twitch. I'm what you see. I am certainly not the type to rescue the damsel in distress. The killer's behavior is certainly extreme, for lack of a better word. Even considering that a killer wanted to protect this witness's life. His behavior is still a little too unnatural. Dose. Yep. Wait, however, you have a good reason, didn't you, Mr. Godot? An unshakable reason that forced you to protect this witness at all costs. Wait, hold on. Hold it. Okay. That is...
I knew it. You figured it out, haven't you, Nick?
Maya. I guess you were doing your best to cover for Godot. For the same reason, huh? Yeah, you just keep shaking your head. Okay, Trite, I'm all ears. Let's hear it. It's very simple. Maya Fey is a lot more than just a stranger to you. What's this? There's one person who lies at the very center of this whole story. Okay. Second save. Oh my god! One person that ties you and Maya Fey together, inextricably. Well, we'll just go with that. Can't read that. They're dating? Well, maybe? Oh, there's a very good reason why Maya Fey's life is so precious to you. After all, she's Mia Fey's only sister. Mia Fey? You once worked alongside her. That was when you were a defense attorney. Wait a second here! Mr. Godot is a defense attorney? Their love makes the bridge burn. With your honor's piercing intellect, you must have figured it out by now. The real name of this man who calls himself Godot? His real name is Diego Armando. Isn't that right? and it comes out. Finally! We've done it. The last time someone called me by that name was over 6 years ago. Diego Armando, that name rings a bell. It should, Your Honor. All of this is related to a single case. A case in which a convict named Terry Fowles killed himself. Flashback time, yep. Mia Fey's first time in court, the tragic outcome left a deep wound in her heart. She knew that behind it all was a heartless, scheming demoness in disguise. But in the end, Mia couldn't tear off that disguise. However, there was one man who reached out to help her. Diego Armando, a senior defense attorney at the office where Mia worked. It's not like they dress the same or have the same coffee habit. It's my fault. All my fault that Mr. Fowles killed himself. Mia, you can't cry yet. Wait, did he get a speck of the coffee cup in his eye and that's why he wears the goggles? Wait, at this point, this case was probably planned decades ago. I have no doubt. The only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over. He happens to have a scar on his right hand where he crushed the cup. I was moved by her. The way she put all her faith in her clients, the pure sweetheart of hers. That's why I could never forget of Dahlia Hawthorne. Me and I thoroughly investigated that fake kidnapping incident. Then one fateful day, Dahlia wanted to meet with me. It had been 6 months since the trial. We met in the courthouse cafeteria, and she poisoned your coffee! Oh, I just remembered. 6 years ago, right there in this courthouse, or right here in the courthouse, you were poisoned. Oh, also thank you so much for resubscribing, Steve the Lizard. Thank you so much. Even I didn't see it coming. Because of your trust of coffee, Dahlia Hawthorne slipped some poison into my coffee. Some newspapers at the time called it a murder, but very little information about the case was released to the press. But you weren't dead at all. No official reports ever actually called it a murder. I was just in a deep, deep coma. I see. That's why my eyesight is all messed up and I am blind now. Yeah. I want to think, like, okay, the white hair, the eyes. I would think something would happen to the esophagus, maybe. Wagano seems so happy being poisoned. Yep. My body shut down and my life became nothing but a long, deep sleep. That woman's poison did a real number on my central nervous system. Aw, man! Okay. So that's my alarm. So I'm gonna take a quick break for a few minutes. And then we'll finish hearing Godot's backstory. Alright. Be back in a little bit. Alrighty, back. Ready to continue. Ready to hear more of this man's story about being poisoned, amongst many other things. Ah! Welcome back, Bushy. Alright, so the woman's poison did a number on my central nervous system, which is why your eyes and hair stopped working? Specifically? I lost my sight, and all of my hair turned white due to the damage it caused.
That's terrible.
Wait, court session continues. Yeah.
It's such a terrible fashion sense.
Apparently, it was a miracle I even ever regained consciousness. So that way Godot had the perfect opportunity to do what he must do to protect Maya. Oh, thank you for the welcome back. 5 years had passed since I drank that poison brew. I'm surprised you can talk. I'm surprised that you have an esophagus. I'm surprised that you have a stomach. I'm surprised you can drink coffee. That was is a good guy. Yep. Also, ow. Then one morning, my eyes flew open from the smell of a doctor's cup of coffee. Oh, it was the coffee! I thought it would make you sick. 5 years? You were asleep for 5 years? Wait, shovel. And the worst possible news was waiting for me. Oh, he wasn't alive to do anything about it. Mia Fey was dead. From the very moment I opened my eyes, I had already lost everything I thought I had. The woman I loved had been murdered, and the woman I loathed had been sentenced to death. The woman you loathed? The woman who had spiked my scalding hot coffee, Dahlia Hawthorne. This is so sad. I'm sorry I made fun of your hair color. I feel bad now. Ha. Good old Mia. She didn't let me down. She got her revenge before she checked out. Well. No thanks. I will not accept what you're selling. Wait, he finally got his revenge? Hopefully. In the end, there wasn't anyone waiting for me when I woke up.
That's so sad.
For someone like me, for someone who had slept away their best days, there were only 2 reasons left to live. And it was for those 2 reasons that I decided to become a prosecutor. If I may ask, what were your 2 reasons to live? Wait, the taxes are due. What, already? The first was you, Trey.
Huh?
Me? If I hadn't drunk that stupid poison, Mia Fey never would have died, much less the way she did. You were the only one who was there to protect her. But you let her die. It was all your fault. It wasn't like that. I wanted to see for myself what kind of man you really were. So that's why you became a prosecutor. This is... wow, triangle of love, yep. My other reason for living, she goes by the name of Maya Fey.
Huh? You mean me?
You were the only way I could make up for the sin of not saving Mia. 1 year ago, when the Kurine village incident was resolved, it was obvious that Morgan Fey was planning something. Whatever her evil plan was, I was determined to stop it. My role as a prosecutor put me in the perfect position to do something about her. That's how you overheard Pearl's visiting with Morgan at the detention center. I knew that the time was drawing near. Since I knew the plan, I thought I could foil it. My goal was to outwit the plan. I thought if I could do that, I could keep that girl from being caught up in it. That makes sense. If Pearls had known that the actual purpose of the plan was to kill Maya, she never would have helped out. Finally, the day of the plan was drawing near. I contacted both of my accomplices. Iris of Hazakura Temple and Misty Faye. I especially needed the help of Iris. She was to take the fall in my backup plan in case we couldn't control Pearl Faye.
What? How did you contact my mother?
Could he not have gotten rid of the damn note? I mean, couldn't he have just said to Pearls the plan, which I know word for word, you know, is to kill Maya? Can you not do it? Or kidnap. He could kidnap her. Then she couldn't execute the plan. I'm not, like, he doesn't have to kidnap her in an aggressive way, you know, he just, you know, just puts her in a nice, comfy, padded room with some toys and some candy, and it just until the day's over, and then, everyone moves on. This is all too aggressive. That would make it worse. How is kidnapping a small child, keeping her perfectly safe, healthy, and well-fed, worse than murder? Wait. She had been missing for almost 20 years. Godot, hey Pearl, we're going to the amusement park. It would have worked! And that would make it look like it seems he was in the wrong. Well, hey, he didn't have to show his face. He could have just kidnapped her and then let her go. I mean, there's so many ways around this. I know they have to make murder involved, but it's so sad. Officially, yes.
What? What do you mean, officially?
He's been missing for over 20 years. How did you know? Yeah, let me just kidnap a kid to save their life. Exactly! Kidnapping is better if it saves their life. You've heard about it, haven't you? About the strong ties between the main family and the government? Now that you mention it, Bikini did say something to that effect. She said that the Master of Kernine had great authority. Even without her official position, Misty Faye still wielded great influence. The police have been keeping an eye on her movements all this time. That's how I was able to contact her. Again, because of my position as a prosecutor. Because you weren't a defense attorney anymore? You had that kind of information? That's crazy. Your Honor, I just wanted to keep my love safe. Exactly.
So my mother was cooperating with you?
Precisely. Don't ever forget. No matter how far away from you she was, she never stopped thinking about you.
She was always...
That's why. I knew she would do anything to protect you. If you want to know how strong her resolve to protect you was, look at her staff. Her staff? The one with the sword in it? The day the plan was to be carried out arrived soon enough. We met for the first time at Hazakura Temple. That's when your mother showed me her special staff. I recognized it then, just how far she was willing to go. She was ready to use that sword to protect you from Morgan Faye if necessary. Yes. Even if it meant paying the ultimate price.
Mother...
This is crazy. That night, the night of the crime, there was just one way to stop Morgan's evil plan. You mean Pearls? Don't you? We had to make sure she didn't channel Dahlia Hawthorne. Morgan Faye is Maya's mother? No, very different. Morgan Faye is the aunt she is Pearl's mother, she is Iris's mother, and she's Dahlia's mother. So she spawned Satan, as well as an angel, and a tiny angel as her children. And she wants her youngest daughter, Pearl, to be the head of the family, so she just wanted to kill everyone who was in the way. So this is why I guess Elise, also Misty, wanted to take her out. Well, Pearls, what are you going to do tonight?
Well,
If you'd like, you can come to my room. Perhaps we can read some books together. Kidnap was on the table! I still have no sympathy for Go Nerd for being such a butt to Phoenix. You know, wrong. So one good girl and one that shouldn't have existed. Well, true. But what about Iris? Is she a good one too? We thought we could prevent her from playing her part in Morgan's plan. But she never showed up.
she was worried and followed me to the inner temple.
That was the thing we were most afraid of. And that's why Misty Faye had to do the channeling herself. She's alright. She's just neutral. All the good landed into Pearl, all the evil went to Dahlia, and there was nothing left for Iris. She channeled Dahlia Hawthorne into her own body. What? What do you mean? If she channeled the spirit first, that means Pearls wouldn't be able to do it herself. He's angry because Phoenix was Mia's co-worker and Mia died at work. She was literally in the office when she was murdered. That is true. Also, like, he was her apprentice. Actually, was he there? He was just coming into work. She was murdered the night before, right? I'm trying to remember the details of that case. The good, the bad, and the ugly. You calling her ugly? As Master of Kunine, Misty Faye's power was supreme. So that's how it went down. She channeled Dahlia Hawthorne so that Pearl Faye wouldn't be able to. Wait. Also, a little bit of a loophole. Wait. Sorry. Huh? Why didn't they just tie her up? Why didn't they tie Misty up after the channeling? Wait. What? Is this true? My role in the plan was to make sure no one was going to hurt Maya Faye. That's why I hid myself at the inner temple. Just in case you needed to be saved from Dahlia Hawthorne. Godot. Anyway, that's all I'm going to admit to you, Wright. Huh? There's no doubt about it. You're a great defense attorney. But you're going to have to do the rest yourself. I don't think that would work at all. Wait, hear me out. Okay, so Misty is channeling Dahlia Hawthorne before Pearls does the channeling, right? So then they get a room, like lock it up, and like Godot is there. He's got like a bat or something maybe a little bit more gentle. And then Dahlia Hawthorne comes out and he gives her a good whack over the top of the head and ties her up or something. Or just ties her up and keeps her conscious. I don't know how consciousness affects the spirit channeling thing, but like, all they have to do is keep her there, right? Don't would just jump into person to person. See, that's what I'm wondering. Can Dahlia just whoosh? Is she in control after that? It wasn't a day earlier. It was the same day Phoenix found her. She was murdered shortly before Maya showed up, and Maya called Phoenix for help because Mia... Okay, wait. So it wasn't a day earlier. It was the same day Phoenix found her. She was murdered shortly before Maya showed up, and Maya called Phoenix for help because Mia told her she could trust him. Ah, okay. So he just wasn't there. Wait, hear me out. What if we just don't channel a psycho? Also a thing. Or they just kidnap Maya. That solves everything. If they kidnap Maya, she likes cheeseburgers. You can't tell me that if you put a really big box with a stick and a cheeseburger under it with a string, and then she went for the cheeseburger and you pulled it and the box landed on her, that you wouldn't be able to capture her. Wait. Also, I think the only problem is how would she unchannel herself? I doubt Dahlia would leave this chance. Wait. Oh! So you... wait, if Dahlia was trapped in a body, would she just leave? Was the other people in the court just observers? I think so. So what food would you eat? Schnitzel. Or cake. Maybe cake. But steak is good too. Hear me out, guys. Why not just put her in the furnace so she wouldn't be able to escape? True. Okay, the background leading up to this incident has been laid bare. There's just one question remaining, Miss Wright. Who killed the victim? There are only 2 possible suspects now. I'm just gonna save. Is this a double ender, or like how Maya Fey? And I'm sad to say you, Mr. Godot. Wonder if the observers follow the story. I don't think any of us can. This is insane. Well, Trite, if you're the real deal, then finish this thing once and for all. Show us beyond a shadow of a doubt that you can finish this on your own.
No, Nick! Please don't!
Maya.
I heard the whole thing from my sister in the medical office. That's why I have to protect Mr. Godot. I can't do it. I can't testify against him. After all, he's the man who put his life on the line to protect me and me too.
Wait, do you think any of the observers brought popcorn to this case? Yes, 100%. Wait, he very easily could have been there, but it was technically after hours? It was the same day as the case... Okay. He very easily could have been there, but it was technically after hours. It was the same day as the case where Larry's thinker clock was the murder weapon and she was re-examining evidence. So I feel like she decided to stay behind and he didn't. Someone say popcorn? Yeah. It's not his fault for having a shitty plan. Jeez. I know that.
Nick!
But even so, it doesn't absolve him of his crime. Please, Maya, testify. Miss Faye, your testimony, please? This is the final testimony. Don't bother trying to hide anything, because I'll know. I want to hear the truth from your own lips. Come on.
I understand. I'm sure you're right. I'm ready now, Nick.
Alright, young lady, tell us about the moments before you lost consciousness. What exactly happened at the time of the murder? I swear, Maya, please, don't do this. Time of the murder. Probably understand 15% of it, but it is still entertaining. Amazing.
Just before it happened, I think I saw some red lights. 3 of them. I thought I'd ask for help, but just then I was splattered with blood. She wasn't dead, though. She was struck back. She struck back at the enemy behind her.
Oh, Godot's blood is on the dagger. Can't hide or will unravel it? Yes.
Suddenly the red lights went out and the whole area was dark. Just at that moment, there was a terrible scream. Right after that, Dahlia collapsed and I lost consciousness.
Okay. These red lights. I thought you said you didn't remember seeing them.
I'm sorry. I thought I saw them, but they disappeared all of a sudden.
Ha. Things break, Trite. Even the best of theories. Who was it that stabbed Misty Faye? It looks like you still can't prove it. Maya is telling the truth this time. I know it. The rest is up to me. Well, Mr. Wright, proceed with your final cross-examination of the witness. Oh boy. Maybe it was the yellow. No. I don't know what you're talking about. I swear I didn't do it. Whatever it was. Okay, just before it happened, the red lights. Lights shining in the dark. I don't think you could make a mistake about that.
Yeah, you're right. I think I saw them, but I can't say for certain. I can't tell you for sure they were from Mr. Godot's mask either.
I don't get the feeling she's covering for him anymore, but press harder. Maya saw Ease. Wait, lustrous red hair shining brilliantly. No! Stop! She stabbed herself? Oh! Actually, yeah, Dahlia stabbed herself. E, your fingerprints are all over the crime scene. Let's press harder. But just after that, you turned towards the lights and called for help. Isn't that because you thought the lights were coming from Mr. Doe's mask?
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe that's what I was thinking at the time. But I can't remember after all. There was a person I couldn't identify in front of me.
Maya's life was in terrible danger at the time. There's no way she can remember the details of the scene perfectly. Alright then, let's go on with the testimony. What did you do when you saw the red lights?
I thought I'd ask for help, but just then I was splattered with blood.
Alright, go on. That blood, was it Dahlia Hawthorne's blood?
I think so, probably. Just at that moment. I heard a soft scream. It seemed to be close by. It was a woman's voice.
So that was when the killer stabbed the victim from behind with the murder weapon. Is that right? Without a doubt, Maya was in the middle of a really dangerous situation. Anyways, the victim was stabbed by the murder weapon. What happened after that?
She wasn't dead, though, and she struck back at the enemy behind her.
Okay, oops. Go on. Struck back? How do you know that?
Well, you're right. I didn't see it exactly, but I could tell by the sounds of their breathing and movement, and also the smell of blood.
You've witnessed more horror than any young lady should ever have to in one life. So then, what did you do at that point?
I couldn't move. I could just barely make out their shadows moving in the dark, but...
Wait, just because E's fingerprint was there doesn't mean she did it. Yeah, I touch everything.
I had no idea what to do.
Could you see the red lights you mentioned earlier?
Yes. I think so. But...
Okay, suddenly the red lights went out and the whole area was dark. I call lies. They went out?
Yes, suddenly I couldn't see them at all.
What could it mean? If the red lights were coming from Godot's mask, and they went out right in the middle of a fight.
Maybe the mask was damaged?
Or maybe it was knocked off. Or maybe the batteries ran out. Right, Trite? Or maybe those little red pinhead looking lights just stopped working. Wait, I just wanted to ride the snowmobile. Exactly. What could have really happened then? Okay, just at the moment there was a terrible scream. Zeal locked. Stop! Or did I just read something? I don't know at this point. What do you mean by just at that moment? Do you mean the moment when the red lights went out?
Yes, that's right.
The scream that you heard then, was it Dahlia Hawthorne?
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it was a man's voice.
What? What? I'll be right back. Alright. So then, that scream came from the killer? It's gotta be it. A question. What natural disaster would you like to witness and survive? Natural disaster? I'm thinking of volcano. Because that's like, that's huge, that's rumbly, explosive, entertaining. But I'd like to sit from a far distance as it goes off, and the lava magma slowly slides down away from anyone. Kind of safe. That's the first thing that came to mind. Feeding the pyromaniac side of you. No? Wait, Godot the killer? Maybe.
I think Dahlia Hawthorne must have taken the blade and attacked the killer with it.
And then the killer let out a scream of pain, huh?
After that, the killer stole the blade back and delivered the final blow, I guess.
The dagger. Well, Miss Wright, it seems to make sense to me. It sounds like a reasonable deduction, but I still kind of wonder. There's a contradiction. I'm sorry to say this, but the interpretation would create an enormous contradiction. Just imagine you taking a selfie while a volcano goes off in the background. No, I wouldn't do that. Oh, maybe. That makes sense. After all, my deductions are almost certainly never correct. Wait, really? You're willing to admit that, Judge? Remember the testimony she just gave before the killer let out a scream? Maya said she had already been splattered by the victim's blood. Wait, peace sign? Wait, what? Oh, when I take the picture? In other words, the blade and the staff had already been plunged into the victim.
Oh! Is that right?
She couldn't have struck back with a sword that was already stuck in her body. The weapon that caused the killer to let out a scream must have been something other than the staff. If you're so sure about that, then don't keep us waiting any longer, Trite. Okay. What was the weapon? There's only one thing I can think of. Judge, makes sense, I guess. I thought it was right, but literally every assumption I've made this game so far has been wrong. He was pinched? Wait. Oh, yeah. He was pinched. Of course. That could have been used as a weapon here. If Dahlia Hawthorne had already been stabbed in the back by the staff, what could she have used to strike back at the killer? I mean, we literally went over this. The weapon found at the crime scene. Naturally, the dagger the killer brought to the scene of the crime. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. This dagger was found at the crime scene, stuck into a pine tree. Yes, the detective found that this morning and brought it to me. Dahlia Hawthorne struck back at the killer with this, and she managed to wound him as well.
Objection!
Just because he let out a scream doesn't mean that he was wounded. For all we know, the blood on the dagger could have been from the victim. That's false. It was tested. Have you forgotten that the blood has already been tested? Since we learned it wasn't the victim's blood, it must be the killer's blood. What's my Epsilon Eagle? Come on, E. We all know he's guilty. Let's wrap up this case and give them the electric chair. Oh my god! Also, how you doing? The killer must have a wound somewhere on his body. Strip him! Let's go! So you're saying the blood on the dagger belongs to the killer? Exactly. A DNA analysis of blood will prove it beyond a shadow of a doubt. So first, we're gonna stick him with a needle and then make him undress in court. And yes, Mr. Godot, it would prove that it's your blood. Dun dun dun. Nice theory, Tribble. Order! Order in the court! Is this the end? Have I done it? Even he won't be able to change the results of a scientific test. Time for the coffee. Oh yeah, he's gonna chuck that at me. Guarantee it. Ha. Let me ask you something, Trey. Let's just say that it turned out that I was the killer. Do you really think I would be stupid enough to leave evidence like that? What? Just think for a second. This dagger was found this morning by a detective and brought to me. There was already blood on it, correct? But even so, I was the one who brought this dagger here to the courtroom. Yes, what does that prove? Well, if I really were the killer, I could have washed the blade off and then planted another person's blood on it. Oh, sorry, Shamar, how you doing? Oh, doing good? That's good to hear. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for asking. It can't be. In any case, there's one thing I can guarantee, Trite. That blood, it doesn't belong to me. Not a chance. What? Oh my god. Well, he could do that. That is true. He's already stated he can't see right. The fact that he didn't see the ketchup on the apron from the case with Phoenix's imposter proves it. He might not have known unless they told him that there was blood. Excellent point. Excellent point. In any event, it seems to be established that the killer was wounded. All right then, witness.
Wait a minute.
What's the problem?
I know I probably shouldn't say this, but there's a big contradiction in Nick's explanation.
Maya! How could you betray me like this?
This dagger? You said that it wounded the killer?
That's right.
But if Mr. Godot had really been cut with the dagger, his clothes would be bloody or have a rip in them, right?
Maya? No, you know what? This is not off the rails at all. This is not out there. Because everyone in this universe only wears the same thing and they only have one version of that outfit. So of course, it would be bloody and ripped. Wait, go nerd can get still strip. Exactly. Maya? Maybe he just changed his clothes? That'd solve the contradiction pretty easily.
What are you talking about? It's not that simple at all. Remember back to the day of the murder? Everyone was on the inner temple side, got trapped there.
Huh, that's right. And once the bridge was fixed, the police headed for the inner temple. Mr. Godot was already there, waiting for them.
He never had a chance to change his clothes.
Unless the wound is under his visor. And he washed the visor? He, wear your other clothes? It's a good question. Wait, you better have done laundry Tuesday, Thursday. But he has 7 of the same outfits for every day of the week. I see. And he keeps one in a spare pocket, right? Unless he was naked. See, that's brilliant. If we do murder, we have to do it naked. Because then there's no blood on anything except ourselves. And then we just wash ourselves and then put our clothes back on. It's perfect. You won't get anything stained with blood. Therefore, you don't have to burn it or wash it. It's brilliant. Are you stinky? No. Absolutely not. He never had a chance to change his clothes. Ah! Did you use soap? Wait. When was the last time you showered? Did you use soap? I washed recently. With soap. I took my shower yesterday. I'm gonna take another today. Man. Though maybe he brought a change of clothes with him. When is recently? Yesterday.
I used soap, I swear.
But no one could have predicted the lightning strike that shut down the bridge. Why would anyone have brought a change of clothes? Did the judge just take smart pills during the last recess? Okay, you practice good hygiene then. Yeah, at least I hope so. Well then, maybe the killer took off his clothes before he committed the murder. Oh my god, he was naked! That way he wouldn't get any blood on them. That's impossible, Trey. You know, how cold it gets up there late at night. After a few minutes with no clothes on, you'd be frozen solid.
Ah!
Huh. So that's all you've got? I knew you weren't tough enough to finish this. Right now, if Mia Fey were here... she wouldn't have closed the book on this case already. Or she would have closed the book on this case already. If Mia Fey were here... So come on, Trite. Can you do it or not? How about it, Mr. 8? Can Mia just tell this jackass? Well, let's charge up Maya and get her here. You've accused Mr. Godot of being the killer, but can you prove it? Have you got even one piece of evidence? The question isn't whether I can prove it or not. The fact is, I have to prove it. That's the only choice I have. I was taught that it's one of the rules of being a lawyer. Do we have it? I can prove it. I'm going to bring you magnificent... Wait, Bring your magnificent vengeance to fruition just as you want it. Ha. That's good. A fighter to the bitter end, Trite. Since there's just one piece of evidence that can prove your point, why don't we go for the unlimited penalty? Oh no. Hold that pot. Oh god. Are you trying to pressure me, Godot? Unlimited works, yeah. Because it doesn't matter to me. I've got the one piece of evidence I need. Give me a break. You've got nothing, Trite. So what do I do at a time like this? It's simple. I've got to think outside the box and approach it from a different angle. Okay? Alright then, Mr. Wright. Let's hear what you got. There's one thing I've demonstrated in the previous cross-examination. The killer was wounded. That was proven by the blood on the dagger. But we decided it was impossible for him to have hidden such a wound. If he had been cut by a dagger, there should have been a blood stain on his clothing. There's one place the killer could have hidden his wound. What did you say? Hidden? Wait. Why are you so guilty? Good question. This is it. My last stand. I need to think about this from a different angle. I don't need to think about why there are no bloodstains on his clothing. I need to show how he hid the wound. It's the end of the line, the final stop, Trite. Let's hear what you've got. Where's this location? Where you say the killer hid his wound? Wait! How am I supposed to... How does this happen? Okay, let's think about this. Attorney's badge doesn't help. Magnetoma doesn't help. Book doesn't help. Temple map doesn't help. Scroll doesn't help. Remember, people can be... You know what? I literally... The prosecutor who is shrouded in mystery seems to know me somehow. Godot has his mask. Right? I thought he just hid it behind his mask. Right? So... Was it... Yeah, his mask is in the picture. But... no one cares who I was until I put on the mask. Yep. I don't know what you're talking about. Wait. He's about to rob the bank. And frankly, I don't need to know. What I do know is that you'll never be half the lawyer she was. It's payday, fella? I hope so. Isn't that right, Trite? Wait, did I do it? Gotta get into the vault. What was that just now? Mia? What? It can't be. You're living on through him? Time for the best part? Oh! Even as we speak, you're still hiding the wound. Whoa. He's been possessed this whole time! It's beneath your mask. During the fight, the red lights given off by the killer suddenly disappeared. Seconds later, the killer let out a scream. Yes, yes, that's right. Your mask went flying off your face. Mr. Godot, would you mind removing your mask? If you have a dagger wound under there somewhere, then I'd say this whole case is solved. That has to be right, right? I broke him. Yes! Ah! I feel like he self-destructed the goggles, so now his whole face is burned. So we won't be able to find this wound. What are you getting trapped for lunch? Oh, that's a good question. I hadn't made plans, I'm sorry. Is it happening? Just now, I saw her spirit in you. I never liked you. 6 years ago. Another coffee? You helped the woman who put me to sleep by hiding her bottle of poison. And then, while I was sleeping, you let Mia die. But you didn't care. You just kept living your pathetic, happy-go-lucky life. You even had the nerve to follow in her footsteps as a lawyer. I can never forgive you, and that's what I thought. Mr. Godot! But I was wrong about you. I knew it from the very beginning. The truth is, the only person that I could never find it in my heart to forgive is myself! Now take your time. Was me. You? Yourself? I was the one that failed to protect Mia. Me and no one else. Ooh, what plans? What plans? I tried to avert my eyes from the truth, to escape from the harshness of reality. Wait, I never forgave you, but I never had to. Wait, what? I just couldn't face Mia's death head on, so I ran. You said you had plans? Wait, I have plans? I don't know anymore. I forgot! I hid behind a mask. I threw away my true name. Evil plans of evil. No? I couldn't even deal with being a defense attorney anymore, so I quit. But, you saved Maya! Yeah, that was my plan. Up until just now, anyway.
What do you mean?
Are you listening, Maya? If I had really wanted to save you, then there's one person I should have gone and talked to right away.
Who would that be? Are you talking about Nick?
But I didn't do it. I tried to get the help of Iris and your mother. Oh man. Did you not, what were you going to get us for lunch? Wait, I didn't have plans. I didn't have plans for lunch for you guys, I'm sorry. I should have made plans. No. But I closed my eyes to the most important man involved. Do you know why? The real reason?
No, why?
Starves. No! I'm sorry. I suppose I wasn't really interested in saving you at all.
Huh?
I'm back. Welcome back. I think I was just trying to salvage what's left of my own broken soul. What'd I miss? I think we broke Godot, and he now recognizes us as possibly a decent lawyer, I think. And he has a wound hidden under his visor. Wait, what is he doing? That is a good question. I was trying to make up for the fact that I couldn't save Mia and nothing more. You know, was not naked. That's why I let you walk straight into the situation that I knew was dangerous. Forgive me. Wait, what? That's a lot of things. You're wrong. You put your life on the line to save Maya. So he's admitting to murder right now. You didn't have plans. Where will you take us? I'll buy... I don't know how. Can I take you digitally somewhere and digitally feed you food? How did you break a dough? Oh, how did I break him? Well, I proved to I solved the problem because he was like, if the killer got stabbed, and their clothes weren't bloody since I'm the prime suspect, where was I injured? And I'm like, behind your mask? And he's like, what? That broke his brain. Wait, much to ease disappointment, Godot was not named. Wait, what? Was it really for Maya's sake? Even I'm not really sure. What do you mean by that? That night, in the darkness of the garden, when I saw her silhouette? A part of me must have known the truth. The truth that it wasn't really Dahlia Hawthorne standing there in front of me. What? So is his eyesight more messed up, or what? I don't know. It depends on where the stab wound is. It could have been Misty Faye or even that little girl. But I still picked up the blade. It was like I was dreaming. I'm not sure exactly what was going on in my mind at that point. Was I really motivated by the pure desire to protect Maya Faye? Or was it something else? Oh, you wanted to kill her. We all want to kill her. I want to take a stab at her. It just sucks that she doesn't have a body to manifest. that doesn't require sacrificing someone else. Was it my hatred for a woman who had stolen everything from me 6 years earlier? Could it have been simply a desire for revenge? Oh, I don't think that's wrong. Banishing Satan is not wrong. And now I don't know anything anymore. It was for revenge, 100%. I did learn something today, however. I finally realized that I was the arrogant one. I was just chasing an illusion, a fantasy. The stupid fantasy of defeating you in the courtroom. You were the one who made me realize my folly. You never ran away from Mia's death. Instead, you picked up where she left off as a true defender of the people. That's right! Don't unleash his inner doom guy. Oh, jeez. In that one moment, I understood everything. We did it? Oh, man. Mr. Godot? I think you already know this. But if you don't, my name is Diego Armando.
Mr. Armando, I believe in you. I knew you were trying to save me.
Oh my god! Thanks. What? Your wound. It's bleeding! Did you forget already? In my world, the color red doesn't exist. What? 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 See, projecting? Yep. These must be my tears. Tears of blood? Tears? Ever since I woke up from my coma, I think I've been waiting for this very moment.
Mr. Armando.
So his eyes are all covered in blood? I think so. You do well to remember this, Maya. The only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over.
This is crazy!
Armando's trying to be cool, yeah. I think we did it. This time is it really is all over, isn't it? I think so. However, I probably should continue this next time. Because I have no idea how long the conclusion for this is. Let my boy out of jail, he did nothing wrong. What is your name? My name is Juan Fujiwara from Sana Paulo, Japan. I'm sorry, what? Alright. So, I don't know how long this is gonna go for. This probably will go for like a few minutes. I don't know. But I'll stop here for now. We'll continue next week, and we'll start up a game probably soon afterward. I'm just not sure if it has like a really long epilogue. I have a feeling it does. So we'll see that next time. And in the meantime, I shall place up. I know. We'll figure out the conclusion then. She'll place up my schedule. So I stream from Fridays to Mondays, 2 times each day. Today is Mystery Monday. So in approximately 4 hours from now, I'll be playing some Blueprints. She's running away. She was the killer. Shh! No. That's not true. On Friday, I'll be streaming Final Fantasy IX and Voices of the Void. Saturday, some Thief 2 the Metal Age and more Voices of the Void. Sunday, some Expedition 33, and we'll continue with Order 13. And the next Mystery Monday, we'll probably finish off, I would assume. I hope they don't have like a 3-hour epilogue of Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Trials and Tribulations. And then once that is finished, I'll start up some Urban Myth Dissolution Center. Alright, get back here, you monster. Don't die, promise me. Alright, I promise. Alright, so I think that's it. So thank you so much for coming. Hope you have a great rest of your day. And hope to see you again soon. Alrighty, bye.